Next on the agenda, which a lot of you are here for, we're looking forward to it, is receive the presentation from the 2018 San Bruno Sister City Exchange Delegation on their visit to Narita, Japan in July of 2018. Mr. Wallace. Tim.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Tim Wallace. I am the Community Services Superintendent for the library. This past July, I had the honor of leading the San Bruno Sister City delegation to Narita, Japan. The delegation consisted of myself, 2 teachers from Parkside Middle School, Laura Lee Baum and James Stewart, as well as 10 recent Parkside graduates. On behalf of the entire delegation, I'd like to thank the following organizations for making the Sister City Exchange Program possible: the San Bruno City Council, the City of San Bruno, the San Bruno Park School District, the San Bruno Sister City Committee, the City of Narita, the Narita International Friendship Society, Parkside Host Families, and Narita Host Families. The effort that goes into organizing and maintaining an exchange program like this is truly impressive. However, considering the unique friendships, goodwill, and cultural understanding that came out of our week in Narita, it was well worth the effort. The Sister City Exchange Program provided us a much more enriching experience than a typical tourist would receive. Up on the wall is a slideshow of some of the events in which we participated, which included touring a Narita fire station, spending a day at a local middle school, visiting Narita's 1,300-year-old temple, and pulling a Japanese parade float called a dashi through the streets of Narita. And to make our trip just a little bit more memorable, we experienced a 6.0 earthquake right in the middle of dinner with Narita officials. Beyond these experiences, our San Bruno students immersed themselves in Japanese culture and family life by spending the week at homes of Japanese host families, which they will tell you a little bit more about in just a moment. Before that, however, I want to let you know how proud I am of these 10 students. They gave speeches in Japanese in front of large audiences on multiple occasions, performed dances on multiple occasions, and were fully engaged in all activities of the trip. They were kind and respectful, not only to our hosts, but to each other as well. They were excellent representatives of San Bruno. Each student will now tell you a little bit about their experience in Narita. So guys, come on up to the podium. Each of you, please.
Hi, my name is Masaya Miyaki, and this summer I got to visit Narita, Japan with my classmates from Parkside Intermediate School for the San Bruno Narita program. Although I have visited Japan a couple of times in the past, I had an amazing time there and I made many new friends and fun memories I will never forget. I also learned many new things about Japan and their culture. In this trip, we visited temples, schools, and other fascinating places in Narita that were quite different from America. We also got to pull the dashi at the Gion Festival. All these things taught me Japanese culture, including lifestyles, belief, manners, and many more. Out of all these fun things, I think my favorite activity we did was probably when we went to the Gion Festival the second time with everyone, including the students from Japan and their families. There, I did a lot of things like spending time with everyone, talking about their lives at Japan, and joking around. I also enjoyed the typical Japanese festival things like the dashi, food stalls, games, and people dancing and singing. That night was a fun, cheerful night filled with laughter and joy. Overall, this trip was an unforgettable time that I will never forget, and I am very glad I joined the San Bruno Narita program. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mark Diaz. My trip to Japan was a life-changing experience. It exposed me to a new culture and gave me a new perspective of the world. I also made some lifelong friends that I still communicate with and will never forget. It also gave me the opportunity to go sightseeing and see the beauty of what lies in Japan. I don't think I will forget what I experienced in Japan.
Hi, good evening. My name is Francis Chua, and the Narita program had a big impact on me. It taught me that our society in America is much more different than the society in Japan. I've gained so much from this, from new friends to new experiences. The Narita program has also taught me bravery and that I am capable of adapting to a place and environment that I am completely not aware or used to. My favorite part of this trip was going to the school because it made me push my Japanese skills to its full extent, and it helped me make friends along the way. But my favorite thing about this program is the hard work our teachers and students put into it, because that took a lot of teamwork, and teamwork is our key to everything. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sienna Miller, and I am 14 years old. I was happy to be part of the Narita Parkside San Bruno exchange. I'm just going to talk about a little bit of key points that I really liked and enjoyed from the whole project. So one of my favorite activities just so happened to be coming into the whole airport where everyone had came into the airport and decided to scream and shout our names, and it was my favorite part. I could never forget what they taught me, and the families made me so comfortable, and they were able to make me sleep at night, and I was able to enjoy my stay there. It taught me a lot about friendship, and it taught me a lot about learning and respecting other people. Their culture was very interesting, and I would never forget what I learned there. They did a lot of things, and their temples were absolutely beautiful. The amount of work they put into them is amazing, and they were also one of my favorite parts. I also want to thank my teachers and everyone on the board for the City Council for letting me enjoy this wonderful journey of mine and experience friendship. I hope that if you ever do this again for future reference, I want everyone to enjoy what I've enjoyed at the Narita. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marviel Mateo. Being an exchange student is a rare experience. It is an opportunity that very few people undertake. It was such an honor to represent Parkside, San Bruno, and the United States in the Japanese community. Prior to participating in the program, I was afraid, nervous, yet I was thrilled to participate. It was unsettling to think that I would be such a foreign place without knowing the language. However, when we arrived in Japan, all of my previous speculations had vanished. All the locals were overwhelmingly friendly, and they were so welcoming. I enjoyed being able to take walks in nature and navigate such picturesque locations in Japan. I've been to places where I know that I wouldn't be able to be in because I was only given that privilege because I was part of this trip, and I would like to thank the entire board for that. During the program, I saw firsthand the differences between Narita and San Bruno, and it's safe to say that they are worlds apart. However, this trip made me realize that powerful and meaningful friendships are able to form despite the undeniable differences between peoples and societies. I thoroughly enjoyed this trip, as it gave me so much to experience in so little time. It helped me grow as a person, a student, and as a friend. I had made plenty of realizations about the world, and I am more than grateful to have been chosen to be part of this absolutely splendid trip, to have formed multiple bonds with multiple people, and to become part of the strengthening bond between San Bruno and Narita. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Marla Martindale, and being part of the Narita program has changed my life in many ways. The biggest way it's changed my life is giving me lifelong friendships with my host families, who were the most sweet and kind people I've ever met, and they treated me like family, and that was my favorite part. The culture over there is amazing, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to go, because I wanted to see the culture. It has such a big impact on me. I mean, the people that I met, not just my host family, and it made me get closer with all these people. So that was one of my favorite parts. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alex Maslov, and I had the privilege of going to Narita, Japan with these amazing people. I enjoyed the most being with the host families and getting to know them on a personal level and really just spending time with them, connecting through all the activities we did. We went to Disneyland. We went to many different temples, and that was just beautiful, just connecting with people through sights and seeing what they see through our eyes in a different country was just amazing. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Zachary Bautista. I thought that the Japanese kids visiting America would have been the best part of this year, although this summer I was happy to be proven wrong. Going to Japan was a whole different world from being in America. Exploring the city and all they had to offer was so fun. From the school to the Shinshoji Temple, I loved seeing all of the amazing sights in Japan. At first, it was kind of weird living with a family that wasn't yours, but everyone in Japan treated us like we were part of their family, and it made us always feel welcome. I must admit, my favorite part of the trip was still all boys at Tokyo Disneyland. That was just really amazing. This trip was one of the best times of my life, and I sure won't forget the memories I've made here. By the time the week was up and we had to head home, I didn't want to leave anybody, hosts, families, friends, and even just random people in Japan. That was great. I hope that many other students will get to make the trip on this program. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Sami Idris. When I first came to this program, I really didn't know what to expect because, well, I'm going to be going to a country that I've never been to. When we first landed, I was really nervous and was surprised at everything there because everything obviously was different. And when we started to go to all these places, I kind of started to get a bond with all of these people. And then after all that, we start to make more bonds along the way, whether if it's with our friends and whether if it's with people over there. And I must admit, going there was probably the life-changing experience that I wish I can do again. Because not only did I make friends with people during the whole week, but the entire time was just love and caring and just a bunch of positive energy just flowing through everything. And I really wish that I can do this again. I wish I can just go back to time and just do this again. And yeah, I had to admit, my favorite part during the entire trip would be the last night that we all had together during the Yeon Festival, where we all just really hung out, eat together, and just play together. And it was such a beautiful experience. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Logan Easley. Probably don't recognize me up there. I had a lot longer hair back then. But the recent trip to Japan has impacted my life in many ways. When I was younger, I was told about Narita, Japan by my uncle, who was the fire chief at the time, and he had gone once years ago. Ever since then, I hoped that I would be given the opportunity to visit Narita, and that dream came true. Like I said, this trip was a dream come true, and it has impacted my life in such a meaningful way. I have experienced friendship beyond a distance of thousands of miles when I only knew the friends for a couple of days. I will continue to remain in contact with my friends for years to come, and I will cherish the friendships made. But the trip, it had a multitude of incredible parts. We went to Disneyland, this car university where we got to drive really fast in cars, the Gion Festival, which was incredible. But I would say, as hard as it is to pick, there's definitely one thing that stands out, and it's the friendships that I made. the friendships that I strengthened with the people here, as well as the people I made friends with in Japan. You know, although we only spoke face to face with these kids for a couple of days, I feel like I knew these kids like my entire life. You know, it's amazing, and I will. And like we said, you know, we went to Disneyland, so to quote one of the famous Disney rides, it truly is a small world after all.
Hi, I'm Laura Lee Bell. I'm one of the teachers that went on to the program this year. Over the last 2 years, I had the privilege of being a member of the Narita delegation. In that time, I have been lucky enough to see firsthand how amazing this program is and how it changes the lives of adults and kids who participated. I have met so many fabulous people and participated in activities that have helped me grow as a person and an educator. I hope that this program continues to thrive for many years to come so other people have this experience. Thank you very much for everything.
Good evening. My name is James Stewart. I'm the other teacher from Parkside. This was my first year as a San Bruno teacher. And in the beginning of the year, we were divvying up responsibilities, and so who would like to do the Narita thing? And I was like, I guess. I like Japan. Sounds good. It was a tremendous amount of work, but it was so worth it. Watching these 10 kids go from not knowing Japanese to speaking Japanese was great. Watching them represent their city was tremendous. The trip, there's a whole bunch of great things to say about the trip, but what I will take from it most is this is my first group that I shepherded to Japan, and I will never forget them. I'd like to end by quoting Mark Twain, who said that travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. And no more than this trip has cemented that in my heart. Bringing those two worlds together was life-changing for me. Thank you.
So first, on behalf of the City Council, we want to thank you for coming down this evening and sharing your experience. It's not easy, not only, as some of you said, the nervousness to go abroad and to try something different in a different culture, far away, but also having to come here and speak to us. You did excellent, and you should be proud of yourselves. You should be proud, Parkside should be proud of you. And if any of you have homework tonight, you're all excused from it. You can tell them the mayor said. But in all honesty, I think this is something you will treasure. There are young people that I have seen speak here that who are in their 30s, and they still remember that trip, that time, and the embracement, and just the culture. And it's just something you'll never forget and you'll have for the rest of your life. And at this young age, think of what else is before you. So on behalf of the council, we all here want to just tell you how proud we are of you. We want to thank you for representing San Bruno and your school as well as you did. And we again thank you for your time this evening. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you. And then also, I know we don't expect you to stay, but I also want to, for the parents too, you also put a lot of work and effort, time, love, and allowing them to go abroad. So, and to the faculty, maybe hopefully it's not your last time that you will be going with another team in Shepherd, but to the faculty as well. It is a lot of work. But as Bob Marshall, former mayor, who helped establish kind of this, and all the mayors since have always found this a reward and a blessing, and really something that brings folks together when there are so many things that may divide. This is something that will be long-lasting. So thank you to all of you. Have a good evening. We'll just pause for a moment as we allow. Okay, why don't we continue onto the agenda? Under announcements, I do want to take a moment and ask our city manager, Javon, if you would be as kind to introduce one of the new members to the executive team.
Sure, absolutely. Mayor and council and members of the public, I'm pleased to introduce tonight our new community services director that will oversee our recreation, library, and senior programs. Her name is Joanne McGreeny. She comes to us by way of UCSF, where she was their assistant director of sports and recreation programs, and we are really excited to have someone with her professional skill set and management expertise join our team. But as a side benefit, Joanne is she grew up in San Bruno. So when I was giving her a tour, I don't know why I felt like I needed to give her a tour of the rec building. At some point, she stopped me and said, "Javon, I went to preschool in this room." And so, Joanne, we are thankful that you joined us.
Welcome very much. Or shall I say, welcome back home to where it began.